If Venezuela produced broccoli instead of oil, the US wouldn't be invading them right now. Everyone is talking about democracy versus dictatorship, but the smart money knows that this isn't about politics. Here is the truth. The US has massive refineries that act like giant but very specific engines. These engines now were built decades ago to run on heavy crude, the thick sludge like oil. Even though US has found a lot of its own oil, it's a lighter variant. So it's like putting petrol in a diesel truck and it doesn't work efficiently. Venezuela though, they sit on the world's biggest reserve of that specific heavy sludge the US refineries are starving for. So the US isn't invading a country, they are securing a gas station that sells the fuel their engine likes. Second, you have the Monroe Doctrine. It basically says if you are in the Western Hemisphere, you answer to Washington. Venezuela started flirting with China and Russia. That's like your spouse inviting your worst enemy to sleep on your living room couch. The US is simply kicking the enemy out of the house. And let's not forget the petrodollar. Saddam tried selling oil in euros. Gaddafi tried a gold currency. Look what happened to them. Maduro tried to pivot. The US is making an example. You sell oil in dollars or you don't sell oil at all. And this is a warning to all of the Latin American countries. So what is the implication of this for the oil markets? Short term, ignore the noise. The market will shrug this off. Venezuela's current output is tiny because their infrastructure is broken. So no massive spike is coming. Medium term though, this is bearish for oil prices. Because if the US fixes Venezuela's pumps, they flood the market. They crush Russia's revenues and break OPEC's grip. For India though, this looks like a win. Cheaper oil means lower inflation and a happier Sensex, for now. But here's the scary part that nobody's talking about. Since the 1970s, the US Navy has been the unpaid security guard for the Middle East to ensure oil flows freely. If the US secures Venezuela, they have oil in their own backyard, so they don't need the Middle East anymore. Imagine if the security guard just quits and they stop patrolling the Persian Gulf. Chaos will erupt. Supply lines to China and India will for sure get disrupted. So and the US sits back with cheap Venezuelan oil while its rivals are going to starve for energy. This is the ultimate checkmate. So history isn't about morality, it's about leverage.